Night falls on St. Petersburg. The city, known for its grandeur and historical significance, transforms under the cover of darkness. The bustling streets, once filled with life and energy, now lie silent and still. The only sounds that can be heard are the distant echoes of footsteps and the occasional rustle of the wind. A hush descends, smothering the city's grandeur beneath a blanket of darkness. The streetlights cast long, eerie shadows, creating an atmosphere of mystery and intrigue. The once vibrant colors of the city are now muted, replaced by shades of gray and black. Snow falls silently, shrouding the ornate buildings and cobblestone streets in a ghostly white veil. Each flake adds to the growing blanket of snow, muffling the sounds of the city even further. The snow-covered streets glisten under the dim light, creating a surreal and almost otherworldly scene. The air is frigid, biting at exposed skin with an unforgiving chill. Breath turns to frost in the cold air, and every exhale is a visible reminder of the harshness of the winter night. People huddle in their coats, seeking warmth and shelter from the relentless cold. A thin layer of ice clings to the edges of the Neva River, its dark waters flowing sluggishly beneath. The river, a lifeline of the city, now moves with a slow, deliberate pace, as if weighed down by the cold. The ice forms intricate patterns along the river's edge, a delicate yet stark reminder of the season's grip. Here, in the heart of this majestic city, a chilling presence looms. Kresty Prison, an imposing structure, stands as a stark contrast to the beauty of St. Petersburg. Its dark silhouette is a constant reminder of the city's more somber history. Kresty Prison, its silhouette, stark and imposing against the night sky, casts long, ominous shadows across the frozen landscape. The prison's walls, cold and unyielding, have witnessed countless stories of despair and resilience. Each shadow seems to whisper tales of those who have passed through its gates. It is a place shrouded in darkness, its walls echoing with the whispers of unspeakable suffering. The corridors, dimly lit and foreboding, seem to stretch endlessly, each corner hiding secrets of the past. The air inside is thick with the weight of history, a palpable reminder of the lives that have been touched by this place. The river, a silent witness to the city's history, flows past its walls, carrying with it the secrets whispered on the wind. The Neva River, with its dark, flowing waters, has seen the rise and fall of empires, the joys and sorrows of its people. It moves silently, a constant presence in a city that has seen so much change. Secrets of despair, of resilience, of the human spirit pushed to its breaking point. The river's whispers tell tales of those who have endured, who have fought against the odds, and who have found strength in the face of adversity. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of the people of St. Petersburg. This is a story of Kresty Prison, a story of Russia's chilling past, unveiled. Through its walls and the flowing waters of the Neva, we glimpse the shadows of history, the echoes of lives lived and lost, and the indomitable spirit that continues to define this remarkable city. Kresty Prison. Even its name, meaning crosses in Russian, evokes a sense of foreboding. This notorious institution has stood as a silent witness to the ebb and flow of Russian history, its walls echoing with the stories of countless souls who passed through its gates. It stands on the banks of the Neva, a fortress of red brick and granite, its facade stark and uncompromising. The prison's architecture is a testament to the era in which it was built, reflecting the austere and formidable nature of the Russian Empire at the time. Its design, a cruel irony, is based on the infamous panopticon, intended to allow guards to observe every inch of the prison from a central point. This design was meant to instill a sense of constant surveillance among the inmates, a psychological tool as much as a physical one. Completed in 1890, Kresty was initially intended to house a few hundred criminals. Its early years were relatively quiet, with the prison serving its purpose as a place of confinement for those who had run afoul of the law. But Russia's turbulent history had other plans. With each passing decade, the prison's population swelled, its cells overflowing with a human tide of political prisoners, petty thieves, and hardened criminals. The Russian Revolution, the Civil War, and the purges of the Soviet era all contributed to the ever-growing number of inmates. The prison's imposing structure, with its four wings radiating out from a central point, resembles a giant cross. This design was not just a matter of architectural preference but also a reflection of the prison's intended function as a place of penance and punishment, a chilling symbol, perhaps unintentional, of the suffering endured within its walls. The conditions inside Kresty were harsh, with overcrowding, poor sanitation, and inadequate food being the norm. Inmates often faced brutal treatment from guards, adding to the misery of their confinement. Kresty became a microcosm of Russian society, reflecting the country's tumultuous journey through revolution, war, and repression. It stood as a grim reminder of the state's power and the fragility of individual freedom. The stories of those who were imprisoned here are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. The late 19th century saw Kresty's grim purpose take shape. Built on the banks of the Neva River in St. Petersburg, its imposing red brick walls and fortress-like structure were designed to instill fear and maintain order. The prison's architecture, with its cross-shaped layout, was a stark reminder of the suffering that awaited those who entered its gates. Originally intended for short-term sentences, its cells soon became home to a growing number of political prisoners. These were individuals who dared to speak out against the Tsarist regime, who sought reform or revolution, and who paid the price for their dissent. The overcrowded conditions were a testament to the regime's increasing paranoia and the growing unrest within the empire. The Tsarist regime, facing increasing dissent, used Kresty to silence its opponents. The prison became a symbol of the state's repressive measures, a place where the voices of revolutionaries and reformers were stifled. Tsar Nicholas II and his officials saw Kresty as a necessary tool to maintain their grip on power, even as the empire teetered on the brink of collapse. Revolutionaries, intellectuals, and anyone deemed a threat to the established order found themselves imprisoned within its walls. The prison housed a diverse array of inmates, from radical thinkers and writers to ordinary citizens caught up in the political turmoil. Each prisoner carried with them a story of resistance and repression, of hope and despair. The Russian Revolution of 1917 brought a change in leadership, but not in Kresty's grim reality. The fall of the Tsarist regime and the rise of the Bolsheviks promised a new era of freedom and equality. But for many, it was merely a change of oppressors. The prison cells, once filled with Tsarist opponents, now held those who dared to question the new regime. The Bolsheviks, initially hailed as liberators, soon proved to be just as ruthless as their predecessors. They used Kresty to crush dissent and consolidate their power, filling its cells with political prisoners, intellectuals, and anyone who posed a threat to their authority. The dream of a socialist utopia quickly gave way to a harsh reality of repression and control. Kresty's cells, once filled with Tsarist opponents, now held those who dared to question the new regime. The prison became a microcosm of the broader political landscape, a place where the hopes and dreams of a generation were crushed under the weight of authoritarian rule. The stories of those who passed through its gates are a testament to the enduring struggle for freedom and justice. The years that followed saw Kresty's population explode. The prison's capacity was stretched to its limits as the new regime sought to eliminate all opposition. Overcrowding, poor conditions, and brutal treatment became the norm as the state used Kresty as a tool of terror and control. The Great Purge of the 1930s, orchestrated by Joseph Stalin, swept across the Soviet Union, claiming millions of victims. Kresty became a key cog in the machinery of repression, its cells crammed to bursting point with political prisoners, many of whom would never see the outside world again. The prison's role in this dark chapter of history is a stark reminder of the human cost of totalitarianism. Kresty became a key cog in the machinery of repression, its cells crammed to bursting point with political prisoners, many of whom would never see the outside world again. The stories of those who suffered within its walls are a testament to the enduring struggle for freedom and justice, and a reminder of the importance of remembering the past to build a better future. To enter Kresty Prison was to step into a living nightmare. The air hung heavy with the stench of sweat, urine, and despair. The only light came from dim bulbs hanging precariously from the ceiling, casting long, eerie shadows across the walls. The cold was relentless, seeping into the very bones of the prisoners, a constant reminder of their misery. Cells designed for a handful of inmates held dozens, sometimes even hundreds. Men, women, and often children were crammed together in these inhumane conditions, their bodies pressed together for warmth in the freezing temperatures. Privacy was non-existent, dignity a distant memory. Food, when it was provided, was meager and barely edible. Watery soup, often infested with insects, and stale bread were the staples of their diet. Disease was rampant, tuberculosis spreading like wildfire through the overcrowded cells. Medical care was virtually non-existent. The horrors of Kresty Prison are not merely whispered rumors. They are etched in history, documented in grainy photographs and official records. These images, often smuggled out at great risk, offer a chilling glimpse into the reality of life within those walls. One photograph shows a line of prisoners, their faces gaunt and hollow-eyed, being marched through a snow-covered courtyard. Their clothes, ragged and ill-fitting, offer little protection from the biting cold. Another captures the cramped interior of a cell, with men huddled together on the floor, their faces etched with despair. These images are not for the faint of heart. They are a stark reminder of the human capacity for cruelty and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable suffering. They are the ghosts in the bricks, the archival echoes of a past that must never be forgotten.